Our chronological Bible reading for August 15th is Jeremiah chapters 30 and 31. God gives Jeremiah this word, and he is coming into the season in which people are starting to be deported to Babylon. A 70-year sentence against God's people because of the sin of the nation is coming upon them, and they are about to experience the wrath of losing everything they held dear. Many of them will die in this war, and yet in the midst of this terrible time of tragedy, God is giving his people hope about the future. There is a day coming, God says, when you, my people, will be set free. There is a day coming where I will break the yoke and the chains that have held you captive. But we must remember the context and this setting, and that day God is referring to is 70 years later. Many of the people who are receiving this word of hope for the future are not going to live to see that day fulfilled. And the question from an earthly perspective is then, why even tell them? Why tell them that they have a day of hope, a day of reconciliation? Why does it matter to these people who are going to die in captivity if they're not going to live to see that day? And I believe the lesson that God wanted them to get into their hearts is the same lesson he wants us to receive today. We need to have an eternal perspective. Even if things don't turn out the way we desire in this world, even if the hopes and dreams for long life and prosperity don't come true for us in this present age, we know that in the age to come, good things are in store. We see people with Philippians 4:13 tattooed on their arms, the verse that says, I can do all things through him who gives me strength. But what a lot of people don't understand is the context of that verse is not about winning a game or getting a promotion. It's not about working hard and achieving the American dream. Paul is saying, I know what it's like to be shipwrecked, to be beaten, to be unjustly imprisoned for the gospel. I know what it's like to be successful and to be despised because of your failures. And yet at the end of the day, I can be content in every circumstance. How is this possible, you ask? It's because I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. Paul was revealing the heart behind God's message through the prophet Jeremiah. Even if you don't win today, keep your eyes fixed on the eternal day. Yes, we can trust the word of Jeremiah because history proves that what he said was going to happen did in fact happen. The people, after 70 years, returned to rebuild the cities, just as he prophesied in chapter 30, verse 18. Every city will be rebuilt on its mound. Every citadel will stand on its proper site. Everything's going to be restored. And God says, I will take my people back from the nations to which I scattered them, and they will congregate once again in the promised land. That prophecy was first fulfilled after 70 years of captivity in Babylon. It was fulfilled again in the 1940s after World War II, when Israel was reformed as a nation after almost 2,000 years. And it will be fulfilled again in the coming days as there's a spiritual revival among the people of Israel. The Hebrews, the Jews of today, will begin turning their eyes toward this Messiah whom they've rejected. And the word of God will go forth from Zion. God says, I will multiply them and they will not decrease. I will honor them and they will not be insignificant. Chapter 31, verse 7, God says, sing for joy, Jacob. He's talking about the nation of Israel that's going off to exile. In the midst of your deepest, darkest trial, sing for joy. Keep your eye on the eternal perspective. It looks dark right now, and it might be darkness and evil all around. Terrible things might be going on around us, but within us we have the choice of blessing God, of rejoicing in him. Despite what our current circumstances might be, even though we're going off into captivity and many of us will die there, God is saying, rejoice in your current circumstance. For you know what it is to have plenty and to have lack. You know what it is to succeed and to fail. You know what it is to be blessed and to be cursed. Be content in every circumstance. You can, through Christ, rejoice in these current tribulations, these trials. Whatever you're going through, you can rejoice in that because you know at the end of the day, even if you die in the midst of this current affliction you are dealing with, when you are raised to life at the return of Jesus Christ, you will see him face to face. And then you will reign with him for 1,000 years. If you could go to sleep right now and wake up at Jesus coming, what a glorious gift that would be. Think about that day and rejoice in that because that is what's coming. These people who were witnessing their loved ones being exiled, these people who were going into captivity in Babylon, they were seeing horrible things. They were seeing children murdered. In verse 15, the word of God through Jeremiah says, a voice was heard in Ramah, a lament with bitter weeping, Rachel weeping for her children, refusing to be comforted for her children. This verse not only applied to the people who were witnessing this tragedy take place around the year 600 BC. It's the same thing that took place after Jesus was born when the wicked King Herod slaughtered all of the boys aged 2 and younger. The very next verse, God says, keep your voice from weeping. Your work will be rewarded. God says, I've seen what you're going through. Don't mourn for those children who are no more. I've got them, God says. And of course, mourning is a godly thing. Even the New Testament says to mourn with those who mourn, but we can't stay in our mourning. We must learn to rejoice in every circumstance. As hard as it is, as countercultural as it is, we must learn to rejoice in the loss even of our children, because through Christ, we can do all things, even the impossible. We can be content in every circumstance. We can rejoice in every affliction. May God, in his mercy and his grace, give us healing. May he bless you and bring healing to your heart in every challenge, in every tribulation, in every trauma, knowing that God allowed these things, but he's going to use every single one of them for the good of those of us who love him and are called according to his purpose. God bless you, my friends. Receive his spirit, receive his grace, rejoice in your trials, be content in every circumstance for his glory, for your good, for the advancement of his kingdom in your heart and in your mind today. See you tomorrow.